Okay, this is an update on the Raejee Black situation. Many of you have known about it. And this is what the ex-girlfriend, Tara Labang's cousin, has to say about this. On December 11th, 2021, we mourned the loss of my dearest cousin, Tara Mandy Labang, and her unborn son. They were brutally murdered, shot dead by her ex-boyfriend, Raejee Black. He went on to kill his ex-wife and then shot himself. Tara, disgusting, sickening piece of crap. All these words came to mind when I think about him. If you haven't heard the news by now, you can search her name, you can read the articles, but be warned, do not watch the videos that have gone viral. Let's remember Tara and not him. Tara dated him since August 2020 and recently broke up with him. Exactly 1 week prior to her death, Tara became aware that he installed a hidden camera in her bedroom's fire alarm. She filed a police report and about the incident. Tara cut contact with him, blocking him on her phone and social media. He then started emailing to get through to her. He started reaching out to her friends, hoping to get them to side with him. Just a few days prior to her murder, Tara got off work at 11 p.m. She had an uneasy feeling. She drove around her home and spotted his car. She texted him to leave. He came up to her window, banging on it, demanding to speak to her. Tara again told him to leave or she would call the cops. She dialed 911. The dispatcher said even said, "Oh, I can hear him." Police were on the scene shortly after and took statements from both parties. The officer took it just as a disagreement and let him go. The officer handed Tara a card with a number for filing protective order. Tara was finally seeing who he was, but we would never know until it was too late. How dangerous he really was. Her life cut short, gone too soon at the age of 41. Sad. So that's basically, let's read more. Tara was an amazing woman and had such a beautiful soul. She touched my life and my children's lives in so many ways. Tara last two posts that she ever shared on her FB page was of her children. First, it was repost memories from 7 years ago on October 2005. Her writing, still one of my favorite memories. Original post she wrote, "If I had all boys, love them lots." Second post, August 27th. Her writing, "My boys are getting so big. No, how about faces here?" Tara really loves my boys, her friends, children, and her friends' children. She always had so much love and snuggles to give all kids. Tara longed to be a mother, even knowing her relationship wasn't working, saying this may be my only chance to be a mother. She was supposed to have a son, precious little baby boy, to call her own. We were supposed to take updated pictures with our children together. It has been so heartbreaking to know that will never happen. Okay, that's the thing. Ladies, as you age, right? Don't get desperate. Don't get desperate to have a baby. All right? In life, okay. Not everybody's meant to be married. And let's say you're up in age. Don't let that mess with your mind of being desperate. Okay? Don't let that, don't get a scarcity mentality. You could either adopt a baby boy, and I'm only saying this if you know in your heart that you understand the gender roles and dynamics of raising a baby boy. Okay? If you're one of those, I'm just saying, I'm not saying anything about Tara. What I'm saying is on the separate side. If you are a responsible woman that understands what it takes to give love to if you want to adopt a boy, a child, period. If you understand what it takes, fine. But if you just want to have a boy just to have it, no. A child just to have it, no. But other than that, don't get desperate because of your age to have children that you may end up making a mistake getting with the wrong person, and now that person could be a stalker. Now you have their kid, because that kid's going to want to know their father. Okay? We're supposed to take, all right. The hardest part was telling our boys that Auntie Tara was gone. How do you explain that to a child? My husband and I told them the following day that Auntie Tara had passed away, leaving out horrific details. We just the news, her passing. We were both in a state of shock and disbelief. Our youngest son saying that she was supposed to live with us. Oh gosh, baby, I know. And I pulled him tighter, trying to console him. Mom, I don't know why I can't stop crying. I know, baby. My husband and I are comforting them as the best we could. Tara's last text to me was just 1.5 hours prior to her passing. It was a happy text, a simple emoji. I was trying to make her laugh. The last time I spoke to her was just the day before. The hardest part in all knowing was she was supposed to live with us. She'd been planning since early October for her to move to California. Her relationship at that point was turning sour. Deceitfulness and lies of his was becoming more exposed. It was sickening to think he wanted to isolate her and control her. He kept trying to manipulate her mind, telling her that once we got to California, we wouldn't really help her. But Tara knew better. Even back then in October, she had to leave. I am her closest family that she knew she could count on. She was adamant and stubborn about finding her own home or apartment, so I helped her look around our neighborhood. But after all our talks, I finally convinced her to just move in with us. She knew that it would be the best decision to finally accept help. Tara had already put in notice to a job that she would be quitting. She interviewed for a new job out west and was strongly considering it. She kept saying, "Oh, after 6 weeks, when I have the baby, I will be going back to work." I kept telling her, "No, that's way too soon." I'm like, "You're crazy." "Oh, no. You need to stay home for at least 3 months, maybe even a year." I kept telling her to take a leave of absence from her current job, to just get on the plane to California and leave everything behind. She didn't need to work for a while. I kept telling her to take at least 6 months off after the baby's born, to stay home and to just enjoy the little baby. I would try to entice her, saying, "Don't you want home and cooking every day?" We would, joking about me making her so fat. She was worried about George, asking what about him, because I'm allergic to cats. I also have 2 giant dogs, but tried to reassure her not to worry about a thing. We had everything in motion. My biggest regret is thinking we had time. Trust me, I'm living with a lot of what ifs. I'm trying to come to terms with everything. Time was not our friend. I'm so sorry, Tara. I couldn't get you out in time. In a conversation I had with Tara just a few weeks ago, she remembered when I used to live with you when we were young. I honestly didn't remember. She said, "Your dad took me and my mom then in." She started telling me more details. We were swapping stories of different memories growing up. Then says, "You are definitely Haranda." I'm like, "Why?" I laugh because I haven't heard that name in a while. It's my maiden name. Tara says, "Because your dad took us in then, and now you're taking me in." Aw. I could tell she was holding back tears, telling me, "Of course, I'm always here for you. You can count on me." Tara was so strong and resilient, headstrong and independent. She always knew she wanted to be a nurse. She managed to put herself through nursing school and graduate from HPU. I remember after graduating from college in Hawaii, she called me. I had already moved away years ago and was living in California. She called to say she was moving to the mainland. She was given 2 jobs opportunities in California. She asked me where should I live, Bakersfield or San Francisco? What you think? Which city is better? I laughed and said, "I'm on my OMG, not Bakersfield." She was like, "Why?" "It smells there, and no, there isn't anything there. Trust me," telling her that San Francisco was a better option. There's so much to do in the city. Yeah. I'm like, "You're young and single, ready to mingle." And just like that, she chose to move to San Francisco. I have so many crazy fun memories from our time in the Bay Area, from our early clubbing days before I had kids, which seems like 2 decades ago, to being there when she bought her first house. Tara wanted to make sure her new home was pest free. So we bought a few indoor foggers. Mind you, we had no idea what we were doing. We never used them before. We started the first one off upstairs, and the fog was filling up the room quick. We started to flee. I know you're getting kicked out of the story tower. We're laughing so hard trying to not fall down the stairs. Oh, man. All right, man. All right. So this right here seems like just going down memory lane. All right. But I'll leave the link in the description box. And that's about it, man. Finally, the truth is coming out. The truth is coming out. So that's about it, man. That is about it. There's nothing really to say here. That's it. The guy was a psychopath. The guy was a stalker. There's no way to justify. You can't justify this, obviously, and you can't be on his side. Okay, the dude was a complete nut job. You can't defend him at all. This guy had deep traumatic issues, and he took his life of his ex-wife, and his pregnant ex-girlfriend. All this was on him. All of it. Nothing you can really say about that. All right, give me your comments below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Later. We could talk about this. Your thoughts after hearing everything about this story. Later.